Let's talk about keyboards. Now, you and I both know typing on an iOS keyboard, we all know this, I think, as blind people, it's not the easiest thing to do.
It's annoying.
I have noticed, and I think it's definitely gotten... I used to be pretty decent, actually, at typing. I remember I could tell you, I could do the whole typing in the dark thing.
Yeah, it wasn't true. Yeah.
Can't really do it anymore, right? Because my thumb shakes too much, so I can't really get it. So it's all over the place.
You couldn't do it.
It makes that exact noise. It goes, and that's it.
Yeah. No, you never proved it to me. I don't believe you.
Well, no, I can't prove it to you.
That's convenient.
It's like
isn't
the
it?
Loch Ness monster.
Yeah,
it's like we just have to believe.
Yeah.
Nessie is there.
So, tell me about this keyboard.
So, Jamie Wallace has developed this keyboard called J-Key, and basically the idea of it is to make it easier for him to use the keyboard on iOS.
I like this.
So, yeah, I chatted with, I don't know why I said it that way, but I talked with Jamie on Friday. Here's that conversation.
So, I've tried many keyboards on iOS, and none of them seem to fit my need. I have both. I am both very, very, very low vision, as well as I have cerebral palsy. So the combination of those two makes it hard to use keyboards and hold still long enough to hit the correct key. I was finding that when I tried to hit the correct key, I was hitting the wrong key and sending a bunch of garbled mess to people. And they always like, what did you send me? Why did you send me that?
Yeah.
So I tried different third-party keyboards, and none of them seemed to fit my needs. So, being that I am a developer by trade, I sat down and I've written some iOS stuff before, so I was like, let me try and put together an app that built the keyboard that I can both use and everybody use, and it will fill my needs. So I sat down, I wrote J-Key. Now what J-Key does is it takes the keyboard and it breaks it down into 5 different clusters. And those 5 clusters, what you do is you tap or double tap, depending if you're using VoiceOver, then you double tap on the cluster and then it brings up the letters that make up that cluster, and then you hit the letter of that cluster, the letter you want. So the cluster paradigm is used throughout the app, throughout the keyboard. So it works both for letters, numbers, symbols. I also have incorporated an emoji section where you're able to have 6 emoji groupings, and it offers you set those up inside of the app. So you can either take predefined groupings, and there's about 50 of those, or you can create your own custom grouping of 6, and you can have up to 6 groupings of 6, because each of them fills a cluster. And then I also have a snippet section. So if you have long words of text, long forms of text that you use often, you can put them in a snippet, and then it'll come up as a snippet category in the keyboard. So what I have in there is like I have emails in there, I have names in there, I have some key phrases that I use over time in there, and you can put in whatever you want, including emojis into that.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I mean, it's interesting because Apple does have a feature it's not in VoiceOver, it's actually a general feature called text replacement,
right,
which is good, but it doesn't work in all apps.
Yeah.
And that's a bit of a nuisance. So having it actually in the keyboard is kind of genius in a way because it puts it literally at your fingertips.
Yeah, it does. And you know, it's and I built this in the bottom up to work both in. Obviously, it works as a regular keyboard without VoiceOver, but it works very well in VoiceOver and actually tells you exactly what keys are within the cluster, what key you're about to press, etc. As well as when you're doing emojis or snippets, it tells you which snippet category you're about to choose, and then the within the category of the snippet, you can it'll tell you what the name is. It doesn't tell you what's within that information, but if you know what to put within the snippet, you should be able to be okay.
Yeah. Okay. And you've been quite clear about this. I mean, it works great with obviously without VoiceOver, but also with VoiceOver as well. And a lot of our listeners use VoiceOver on their iPhones. So, you know, for someone using a keyboard, my initial thinking was, would this take more time for me as someone with VoiceOver to use the keyboard? Because you have to double tap into the cluster, find the letter, double tap there, and then I guess find a new cluster. Mm-hmm. Have you been getting any feedback like that? What's the feedback been so far?
So far, the feedback has been this is different to use. I think it takes time. I've been using it as my daily driver for several months now. So I'm probably not the first person to give you feedback on that, but mostly it's been, relatively positive feedback. It's just that it takes time to get used to.
And like, if you try using a QWERTY keyboard on iOS, exactly. It's challenging.
Yep. And also, if you can't figure out where you are on the keyboard or what key you're pressing, even if you know exactly what key you're pressing, a lot of the time autocorrect kicks in and does other things. And by the way, this also has suggestions. So as you're typing, it'll suggest there's 3 suggestions on the top of the keyboard of suggested words. So if you want to autocomplete what you're typing, then it knows by the context of what you're typing in that maybe you want to fill that out.
Right. Yeah.
So I've also implemented some rotor implementations.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah. So on the delete key, you have a choice of deleting a word, a line, or the whole.
That's brilliant.
Structure. So between the up until the cursor space with the cursor. So if you have the cursor at the end and you do that, it will delete the whole thing. If you have the cursor at a point in this and we're just typing, it will delete that whole section between the beginning and with the cursor. The same with the word and line, but that option is it does have auto repeat. So if you double tap and hold the delete key, I know for some people, and including me, that's somewhat difficult because I can't keep my hand still enough to do that for a long period of time.
Yeah.
So for me, the rotor made so much more sense. I also have a rotor implementation on the shift key so that you can enable caps lock. Again, you can do that with double tap and hold, and it'll enable caps lock. But again, for some people, that's difficult. I know for me it is, but
yeah, I want to maybe dig into that a little bit if you don't mind, if you don't mind talking about it, Jamie, because a lot of us listening, me included, of course, will know how or what challenges exist when using a keyboard on iOS and using a touchscreen keyboard. Using the phone is one thing, but using a keyboard, it's so you have to be so precise, and you can either go through the process of there are obviously different ways of navigating a regular QWERTY keyboard. You can, and split tap is my friend. That's often how I get through most of my day, because I don't have, not similar to you, but I've got an essential tremor in my left hand, which affects my ability to be able to do double tapping successfully. So split tap helps me with that. But with you having cerebral palsy, talk me through how using a touchscreen is impacted by cerebral palsy. How is what's the challenges you face?
So fortunately, my cerebral palsy is really mild, but it certainly it affects my need. When I'm holding up a keyboard, I aim to push like the A key, and I end up pushing the F key.
Yeah.
Because my hand doesn't do exactly what I tell it to do. And that becomes really frustrating to me. And the people have to read what I put together. And sometimes VoiceOver is somewhat difficult. It's, to have it read to you a garbled word. Sometimes it'll read to you a word that makes sense when it reads it to you, but then when you send it, you realize you totally misspelled it, and you have extra characters in there that VoiceOver kind of skipped over. So it makes for physical use of the keyboard difficult. I have a lot of trouble, and then also, if I choose the wrong character, then I delete the character, and I find that I'm spending more time entering the correct character than I am doing anything else. So that's why something like J-key gives me a bigger target to hit, because there's 6 keys maximum on the screen at once. It allows me to function. I hope it helps a lot of people to be able to maneuver. It may be a little slower because of the choosing the cluster first and then hitting the key, because there's more key presses. But there is the feature also to do auto return. So you can either do auto return, where after you put it in character, it returns you back to the main keyboard, or you can hit there's a return to main keyboard key, which you can hit as well to return if you went into the wrong cluster or you didn't want to do it. Which reminds me of one other feature that I have in there. If you want to hit a character twice, which was often another problem for me on the regular keyboard, I could really, never hit the same key twice in a row because of my issues. So I implemented an option to through the rotor to enter a key twice. So if you want to, let's say you have a word that has a double O in it, you can just hit the O. You tap on the O key and then do the rotor down, and it'll say tap twice, and then you double tap and it types it twice. That also brilliant. Saves going back out and back in.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So it's available on iOS. You've developed this for iOS. And it's a paid-for app, right? But it's not hugely, it's really not expensive.
Yep. It's a $2 one-time $2.
Yeah, come on, Blind Community. Come on, seriously? $2? You're not going to complain about that, right? Right. Get it bought. Get it tried. Support developers. Support disabled developers. I'm all for that. So, yeah, definitely. Go get it. And I will say this, you very kindly sent me a promo code. I haven't used it. I want to buy it because I like supporting developers. So if I can, I'd rather pay the $2, to be perfectly honest. So how much of that you get when Apple take their 30% or whatever it is these days, I don't know. But I'd rather it was in your pocket than anyone else. But listen, I really am well done for doing it. It's a fantastic thing, and I'm going to be trying it out properly over the next couple of weeks because I am desperately needing to do something about my own issues here. So, it's getting to that stage where, that way you start to think, I really have to rethink what I'm doing here. And if a tool like this can help, then I'm all in. So thanks for what you're doing, Jamie. And thanks for coming.
Thank you. I really appreciate your taking the time to talk to me today.
Oh, anytime. Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you.